Hello, my friends. Well, the cards that I pulled today, again, from my book, are Ancient Mother's Alphabet, a new Kabbalistic approach to the Hebrew Aleph and the Tarot, were these three cards. The Kuf, the Three of Swords, the Four of Wheels. And this is the reading for the new moon in Virgo. And what the first card talks about, it's very interesting because the first card actually tells the story of what the other two cards are trying to express. And the Kuf, the letter Kuf, represents the back of the head, and it's similar in some ways to the moon in the Rider-Waite deck. And what it says, and this is from my book, and I kind of excerpted it, is the essence is that it's the beginning of our return to wholeness. And it is, if we are going to return to wholeness, it means that it's time to really be aware of our own shadow, of our shadow self, of the things in us that we do not love, that we can't love. Because and in our world, really. And it's because in order to grow, we need to somehow find a way to accept the parts of us that we want to pretend are not there. And it's important for us to know our whole selves and not stick into unconsciousness. That which doesn't somehow flatter the image we want to have of ourselves. And so the questions to ask are, what am I trying to hide, or what am I trying to hide from? What am I ignoring? How am I cut off? What is in danger of destruction, and what do I need to face up to? And that can be kind of painful to look at. And the lesson of this is, you see, this is where the very small, I'm not doing it right, the lower parts of us is yearning to be joined to the wholeness, to the holiness that we each possess. And that can be very hard to feel at times and hard to connect with. And so the lesson there is to somehow overcome shame, overcome embarrassment, overcome the fact that we are all deeply flawed because we are human beings. And we are all trying to become whole. And it's only when we cry out to the holiness, the wholeness of life, of that which is beyond our ego, beyond our small selves, to the greater awareness, that we can actually come up and recognize that and love those parts of ourselves that can be very hard to love. And so that's what this is talking about, these three cards. And what's interesting is the third card I pulled, of course, is the Four of Wheels, which has to do with the ease and the good fortune and the goodness that can come when we become whole. And so I invite this time, this place in the dark of the moon, in the new moon, for us to look for what we need to turn to help us become whole. And sometimes that isn't something we can do alone. Sometimes it's time to turn to a good friend or a trusted counselor, someone who can help us see, because the moon can't shine without the sun, and so it needs a mirror, and so we need a mirror that can help us see ourselves better. And that may be someone that you trust that is outside yourself, someone I, that you can, that will tell you the truth. Because then when you hear the truth, when you can see the truth in you, then we can really change. Then we can grow. And I say this for myself as well as you. And have a beautiful journey towards the full moon, towards fullness, towards the wholeness. And sending love as always.